Hello everyone and welcome to tonight's stream. Tonight we are going to play the Attorney Chronicles. So this isn't the first game in the series. This is one of the later ones. I thought it was gonna be one of the earlier ones, but okay. So, you're an attorney in this one. You're an attorney in this game, right? There we go, that should be better. You play as an attorney and you have to prosecute people. Or defend your own. Either one of the two, you could be the prosecutor, and on the other hand, you could be the defendant. It's all depending on what the game wants you to do at that specific point in time. So here it is. There's two games in this one, and I don't know how big the files specifically are, but it's called the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Are you talking to yourself? I always am. We're gonna select the adventure, and we're gonna start with number 1. Welcome, Josh. Welcome. You still playing Minecraft? Or getting started? We're gonna start with a new game. Oh, we're getting cutscenes. Hopefully, the big titties.
The Empire of Japan. After opening its doors, a push for cultural transformation brought great waves of Western influence to this far eastern island nation. The revolution washed over the land, making life in the capital exciting and unsettling. It was a period of great change, and some was swept away by the tide. But for one man, the turbulence of that era was just the beginning of an extraordinary story.
The Adventure of the Great Departure. Okay. Oh. There you go, then you can read it. What does history mean? No history available. Good to know. What if I just click autoplay? I still can't believe it. I still can't believe this is happening. How can it be just that beyond the doors to this quiet little chamber? Yeah, this is on the Switch. Is the highest court in Japan waiting to decide my fate? What? Oh, no, nothing. Save your glass, murderer. Oh, I'm sorry. My name is Ryonosuke Naruhodo. I'm a second-year student at the Imperial Yume University. 3 days ago, I somehow found myself in the middle of a horrifying incident. And now, here I am, awaiting my trial. That's enough. Oh. He's not obliged to listen to such abuse, officer. And who are you? I'm this man's lawyer. I'll be defending him today. Oh, lawyer? Yes, and until the judge has given his verdict on the case, no one has the right to treat him as a criminal. Oh, he has a sword. So now you hold your tongue. Technicalities. Look at you. You haven't even graduated yet. And yet, I still seem to know better than you how a court officer should behave. You're wearing a katana. Should probably turn off autoplay for a while. Oh yes, of course. Sorry. What are you apologizing to me for? Oh, no, I suppose that it wasn't my fault. But really, Kazuma, I never meant to drag you into this. I'm sorry. He's still wearing a sword on his hilt. Ha ha ha. There you go again, apologizing. Just like always. Though I must say, you've been all over the newspapers these past few days. Yuma University professor murdered in cold blood by students. But obviously, you didn't actually do it, did you? Of course not. You have to believe me. I didn't do it. I could never murder someone. Then there's nothing to worry about. I like this. Is this an actual conversation you and the officer or your actual lawyer have? Did you do it? No. Okay, fine. Then I believe you. Then there's nothing to worry about. Straighten yourself up. Hold your head high. Gonna play like this for the rest of the episode, okay? You mean? I believe you. I know you're innocent. Ryonosuke. Didn't he have a gun in his hand? Yes. It's up to us to figure out on what actually happened. Kazuma Asogi. I'll just call him Kazuma from here on out, because I'll also call Ryonosuke Ryu, because I am not gonna do that shit. Also in his second year at Yuma University, but he's far more clever than I, a star student in fact. He's even a qualified lawyer. Impressive considering he's still an undergraduate. It's not that impressive. The very concept of lawyers is only a few years old, here in Japan anyway. My qualifications don't mean much yet. You said exactly the same. Yeah, okay, so this is set in 1930 or something. So after the Second World War or before the First, I'm not exactly sure when. I do have the... No, never mind, I don't have the box anymore. But I'm proud to have a friend like you, Kazuma. Truly. Yes, that's when all this started. Let's take a look. Congratulations, Kazuma. Congratulations, Kazuma. It looks like you're going to get to study abroad at last. I know, I've been forever dreaming of this day. Finally, those government elites have acknowledged my academic achievements and successes in court. So you'll be representing Japan as you immerse yourself in the most sophisticated legal system in the world. I'm really happy for you. Okay, I can't do the auto play. I'm really happy for you and proud as your friend. There's not a soul in the university who doesn't know Kazuma's name. He's a living legend. It's like there's some mysterious aura blowing around his temple. I want to bring about change in our town. Oh, Jesus. I want to bring about change in our own legal system. That's why I have to cross the ocean to see the real thing with my own eyes. The heart of the British Empire. And I wish I could see it too. Then come with me. We'd have a wild time tearing up the streets of Her Majesty's City of London together. If only it were that simple. Oh dear, look at the time. I'd better be going. Alright, I'll see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy this place a while longer. Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. Let me peel off something, hold on. Oh, that's disgusting. Oh, now it's under my nail. I don't even know what the hell that is. Perhaps this bottle needs to change. See you in the English class tomorrow then, partner. So if I open his... Can I open his... Right? No. It was straight after that. That's when it happens. Asogi, may I have a word? Oh, this is a woman, isn't it? Oh, for fuck's sake. I can't voice them all. Professor, I didn't know you were coming. Well, this case has personal significance to me. But never mind that for now. Asogi. You should go immediately to the judge's chambers. To His Excellency's chambers? Why? He was looking for you before. You advocating for the defense in this trial was a sudden decision. It seems there may be some confusion about procedures today as a result. Who is this man? I feel as though I've seen him at university before. Well, he's a professor, right? I see. I'll go at once then. Is there like a fan off screen doing that shit up there? Like what is going on up there with his bandana or whatever, his thing on his head, wind blowing, you know? I shall accompany you. Alright then, Ryu, I'll see you in the courtroom. Yes, thanks, Kazuma. My mouth is on fire. What did you do? Suck a spicy dick. You sucked Ainsley's dick, didn't you? Ah, this is awkward. If I may... Yeah, sorry? You must be the defendant. Ryu Naruhodo, I believe. Yes, that's right. My name is Yuji. I'm a professor of forensic medicine at Yume University. Ah, Professor Mikao. I've heard that name from Kazuma before. As I recall, he's been pushing to get the government to agree Kazuma's studying abroad. Abroad. Isugi has told me all about you. You and he are best friends, I understand. As such, I feel you should know. Know what? Well, as you've no doubt heard, Isugi has been granted permission to go and study in Great Britain. However, if he should fail to defend you in today's trial, then he will not. Well, it's not that hard, people. It's not that hard. I'm afraid that permission will be revoked. Also, he has to win a murder case. That sounds lovely. Doesn't that sound lovely? And never granted again. What? Ah, as I suspected. You were unaware of this. I had a feeling Asogi may have chosen not to tell you. He's agreed to defend me, knowing that if he fails, his dreams will be shattered. Well, that's what best friends do, right? But I don't understand. Why would the government do such a thing? The administration has to choose from a large number of applicants for overseas study. It's very difficult to persuade them to grant permission, even in the most favorable of circumstances. I don't believe it. But I didn't do it, I swear it. I'm not a murderer. I'm sure that's true, nevertheless. I can assure you that proving your innocence will be no easy task. You see, there are certain peculiarities about today's trial. Sorry? What do you mean? You'll soon understand, once proceedings get underway. But then what should I do? Well, naturally, I'm not going to suggest doing anything that could lead to a conviction. Right, so... As soon as a trial starts, the judge will pose a certain question to the defense. When that happens, you must answer before anyone else. You must say, I do. But what will the question be? Surely not. Do you accept the accusation brought before you? Of course not. Court is about to begin. Proceed to a courtroom at once. It would seem our surreptitious discussions are to be cut short. So allow me to summarize. Kazuma Asogi must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. Of course, as a defendant, the final decision is yours. Yeah, I'm on the way. Okay, so... If this trial goes badly, Kazuma's dreams of studying abroad are over. And what's more, I'll be found guilty of murder. Then you shouldn't have put the gun in your own hand. And so with absolutely no idea of what lay ahead, I embarked on that unforgettable trial. My one and only chance of proving my innocence, the trial that would decide my destiny. November, 9 AM. Supreme Court of Judicature, Courtroom 2. So this is a courtroom. The Supreme Court of Judicature, and no court in the land has more power. I don't much like the look of the people sitting in the public gallery. Lots of military and other uniforms in there. The powers that be have demanded this be a secret trial. A secret trial? A trial that's closed to ordinary members of the public. Only military and government officials may attend. It'll become clear in time. It's probably because it's about a professor. But for now, you need to concentrate. It's about to begin. The court will now hear the trial of Ryu Naruhodo. This guy's the ultimate. Well, actually, the prosecution is ready, Your Excellency. As is the defense. Before we begin, there's one point of order I would like to confirm. Yesterday evening, the defense made a last-minute request for a change of advocate. That's correct, Your Excellency. I made a request myself. Normal procedure is for the defendant's advocacy to be decided 2 days prior to trial. As this is an unusual circumstance, I am obliged to ask for final confirmation now. Who advocates for the defendant in this trial? This is it. This must be the question. Who's going to defend me? That's the question the professor meant. If I say I do, I need to answer quickly. What should I do? Let's just answer. Your Excellency, no confirmation is needed. As I'm standing here beside the defender, I hope it's clear who advocates for his defense. Oh. What is the meaning of this unruly outburst? I would like to inform the court that I, Ryu, will be defending myself. Well, yeah, you're a lawyer, so you'll be what? What are you playing at, Ryu? Professor Mikotawa told me everything just now before the trial. He did what? He said that your dreams of studying abroad would be dashed if you were to lose. How sad. It means you don't have faith in me. You think I won't be able to get you off? No, it's not that, really. It's just that... Well, on the off chance that things don't go well for me, I couldn't bear to be the reason that you... Yes. I knew that's how you'd feel. Which is exactly why I decided not to tell you. Professor Miko shouldn't have stuck his nose in. Very well. The court hereby recognizes the defendant's desire to advocate for himself in today's trial. Well, well. Does the accused admit defeat already? Renouncing his own counsel? Really? Objection! Make no mistake, counsel. This merely shows that the defendant's innocence is so apparent he's confident he can speak for himself. Isn't that so, Naruhodo-san? Yes. Hmm? Oh, yes, exactly. Exactly what I wasn't thinking. I'm not confident at all. In fact, my mind's a complete blank. I realize you're in charge now, but still, try not to look so bewildered. Well, for a mere university student to be brought before the Supreme Court, you must have perpetrated a most heinous crime indeed. As you are no doubt aware, this is the Supreme Court of the Judicature of Japan, but fuck. Accordingly, the very highest standards of conduct are expected of all present. Do I make myself clear, Defendant Naruhodo? Yes, Your Excellency. It is therefore my duty to assess your competence for the task you have undertaken. My competence? What does that mean? He's questioning your ability to do the job. Well, he can't be questioning it more than I am. So, let's start with the very simplest of questions. Kindly state before the court the name of the victim in this case. Well, that's easy enough. I've heard his name more times than I'd care to remember. But, wait. I'm so nervous I can't even remember that. What was it again? Let me guess, your mind's gone blank. You know me so well. All the relevant information for this case can be found in the court record. But I can't even find that. Just click B. The court record with a press button. Exactly, click R. Okay, fine, it was R, not B. If you ever find you've forgotten something, just consult that, it's all in there. I just have to press R for the court record. Alright, there's no time to lose. Prove that I'm student at the Imperial... This is a list you've collected and try switching to people. We'll find details about the victim in here. When you're done, just press B to go back. Okay. Okay, a second year at the Imperial Yume University is my best friend, and despite being a student, a qualified defense lawyer as well. A medical school professor at the Imperial Yume University is an authority in forensic medicine and Kazuma's mentor. The lead prosecutor of this case would appear to have a little love for the changes the cultural reformation has brought about. The victim of this case, he was a visiting professor of medicine at Yume University. Wait, they're both studying medicine. Okay, this is something good to remember. Both Eugene as well as Mr. Wilson both studied medicine. So my best guess is, as of the bat right now, because we are looking at a murder chance right here, is that this is a potential suspect. Because there's a link between these two. So remember, everything to do with the current case can be found in court record. Now, you'd better keep His Excellency... Not keep His Excellency... Go on. Find the victim in the people section of the court. Then press X to present. Try it now. Okay?
Yes!
Yes! Yes, Queen, yes. The victim's name was Dr. John H. Wilson. Well, at least you can remember the name of an esteemed member of your own university. Dr. Wilson was a visiting professor from England invited to Yume University 3 years ago. Indeed, which is the reason why this case has such profound implications. The British Empire is at present our country's most valuable foreign ally. And as most of you will be aware, we have just signed a new treaty together after lengthy negotiations. There can be anyone who has heard of the Anglo-Japanese Treaty of Friendship and Navigation. Is that an actual thing? Let me check really quick. Hold on. Let's take a look, shall we? The Anglo-Japanese Treaty of Friendship and Navigation. 16th of July 1894 is when it was rectified. What the fuck? Okay, this is an actual thing. Good to know. And yet, despite these delicate circumstances, the blood of an Englishman has been split on our soil. You two are both undergraduates at the Imperial Yume University, are you not? Murdering a professor from the very institution that provides your education. Have you no honor? Okay, so the only murder that would be allowed in Archie's case would be just murdering somebody from the opposite university or another university. Good to know. But I didn't do it. Well, that's up to you to prove. Up to us to prove. This case is coming under great scrutiny from our allies on the other side of the world. The court, therefore, wishes a speedy resolution to this matter. In other words, our feeble government is scared of upsetting England's policymakers. And you're a convenient and expendable scapegoat to blame for this crime. So that's why this trial has these unusual peculiarities, is it? Exactly, our government needs to convict someone as quickly as possible. All because the victim was an Englishman. Yeah, Dr. Wilson was an Englishman. But nationalities and treaties won't make any difference for me here. The fact is, I was there at the scene of the crime. Yes, we were. Oh dear, look at the time. I'd better be going. Alright, I'll see you later. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. Okay, so he leaves. See you in English class tomorrow. Okay. We need to pay attention to these cutscenes. The British Empire. Wow, it's incredible to think. Wait. Yeah, he's sitting right there. We were in the same restaurant. I've seen that man at university. I'm sure he's a visiting professor from Great Britain. I don't know his name, but still. I should go and say hello. Wonder how he ended up with the gun either way. So I went to the professor's table. And introduced myself to Dr. Wilson. Now then, let me pose my next question to you, Defendant Naruhodo. Yes, Your Excellency. How did the Professor of Medicine, Dr. John H. Wilson, lose his life? State before the cause. State before the court the cause of death. The cause of death. Well, obviously that was... Yeah. Ryu. Remember that in court, every assertion must be backed by evidence. By evidence? But how? Find a piece of evidence that shows the professor's cause of death and select present. Okay. There was a gun in his hand. And was caused by loss of blood from a gunshot to the chest. The bullet did not pass through the victim's body. Okay, hold on. Death occurred a little after 2 p.m. and was caused by loss of blood from a gunshot to the chest. Okay, so he got shot in the chest. The heart didn't stop. Just because he bled out. John H. Wilson, male, British. Time of death, 19th of November, shortly after 2 p.m. Single bullet, fatal hemorrhage from pectoral ballistic trauma. So basically... What was a hemorrhage again? No accident wound, bullet did not pass through the body. Okay, so what is a hemorrhage again? Oh yeah, bleeding. Okay. So basically he bled out. Okay.
Yes!
Yes! Well... According to this document, the victim suffered a hemorrhagic death to gunshot trauma. Whoa! Learn to read, you imbecile. That's the post-mortem cause of death. Sorry, yes, that's alright. The post-mortem report. The post-mortem report. Okay, sorry, no, post-mortem cause of death. In the West, the doctor disrespect got to identify the cause of death in an autopsy. But here in Japan, a police officer merely inspects the body and draw conclusions that way. Oh. As long as I'm not going to be tested of any of this later, well... This is a so-called photographic print of the scene of the crime. You can clearly discern scorch marks around the bullet hole produced by the powder explosion. Yeah, but that means that he was up close. So, if there's scorch marks all around here, then that means that the guy who actually did it was actually quite up close with the gun, because otherwise there would be no scorch marks at all. In other words, we should assume that the victim was shot at close range. Shot at close range. There you go, chat. There you go. All you need to know. Thank you, counsel. The court will accept this modern scientific evidence into the record. That shows the victim who was shot from the front in the chest and subsequently died. Photographic print of the victim. Okay. So that's a photographic print. It's called a photo, you idiot. I know we're living in the 1900s now, but that's not the point. That's something I've never seen before. It's clearly superior to a drawing. The detail is incredible. What the? Very well, I am satisfied with your answers. Let us start the trial. Certainly, Your Excellency. So, without further ado, in order to better apprise the court with the facts of the case, the prosecution hereby calls its first witness who was there at the scene of the crime when it happened. I think I may have worked out what the professor had in mind. The professor, you mean Mikotoba? Clearly, you're the defense lawyer today, not me. But that doesn't mean... I can still act as your assistant. Yes, you can. When he was speaking with me before, he simply said, Kazuma Asoji must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. So he's the ADA. He really has been sticking his oar in, hasn't he? Maybe, but any help you can give me would be greatly appreciated, Kazuma. Well, my first piece of advice is rein in that crazy look of bewilderment and control the cold sweats. Only if you're reining that crazy headband and control the cold stares first. Oh! Can I get an O in chat? Witness, state your name and occupation for the court, please. Of course, my name is Satoru Hosonaga. I am the head waiter at a Western-style restaurant called La Carnival. Why does he bleed after a cough? Alright, you seem to be coughing up some blood. It's a regular occurrence. It really doesn't bother me. Yeah, he has something. Yeah. He has quite... I think he has some form of illness. Or maybe a... Maybe it's side effect from poison? I don't know. As everyone knows, the capital southeastern quarter was developed for foreign visitors some years ago. It's become a very fashionable district now, full of hotels to accommodate overseas guests. This grim crime occurred in one of the district's so-called restaurants, an accidental eatery 3 days ago. Understood. Onosaga-san, you'll kindly tell the court everything you can about the incident. At once, sir. And no petty interjections from your spying lawyer boy, please. Oh. Perspiring maybe, but aspiring? It was just after 2 PM of the day in question. We have had a few diners at... We have few diners at that time of day. Yeah, because it's 2 PM. Who the fuck dines at 2 PM? I'm actually gonna grab my... I have a small whiteboard now. I have a small whiteboard and I'm gonna fucking use it. So... I'm gonna deduct every fucking thing he says. So, we have a waiter. Right? Yeah, we have a waiter. Coughing blood. This is a witness. The lunchtime rush was over and there were only 3 tables still occupied. That fits in with my memory of it too. There was hardly anyone else in that place. It was when I was in the kitchen putting away crockery and cutlery. When I heard the gunshot. A gunshot rang out, so I hurried out to the dining area to see what happened. I found the victim, an English gentleman slumped in his chair. And standing immediately beside him, gun in hand, was the accused university student.
Yes!
Hold on, let me just clarify something here. Well, I did pick up a gun that I found lying on the floor beside the professor. I didn't shoot him.
Objection!
I believe I asked you to refrain from petty interjections. The court wishes to listen to this witness report of what he saw, you amateur. But the next time you interrupt an inappropriate time, you will be penalized, defendant. Don't worry, Rio. You'll have your chance to fight back. Why didn't... So I wrote it down and now it's now just disappearing all of a sudden. How is that possible? Did I skim over it? No, I didn't. For now, we just must quietly listen to the witness. Ah, this doesn't work, so it seems. Hold on, let me check out really quick. What happens? For some reason, the marker that I'm using gets disintegrated in this whiteboard. Now I'm just confused as hell. Okay, this isn't a thing that I'm going to be using then. Alright. Hold on, let me fix this really quick. I think I can just throw this whiteboard away because it's absolutely shit. I mean, it doesn't get rid of any... Oh, you can't even see it. It doesn't get rid of anything at all. Unless... Hold on. Let me put my spray. I hope that works. This is whiteboard cleaner. Oh, if it works, it works. Oh, that's too much whiteboard cleaner. Fucking hell. Jesus, it gets it. I guess I'll fix that later. I'll probably throw this whiteboard away. Didn't even cost me a buck, but... okay. Where did you buy it? The Action. Why do you think it's shit? Let me do it again. Okay, so the waiter is... The waiter's coughing blood is what I can deduct right now. Why, I do not know. We have the professor at the very beginning, who is... he... studied medicine like the victim. If I may confirm one point, waiter, standing beside the victim with a gun in his hand was the same man we see here in court today? Yes, without question. I see. And apart from the accused, was there anyone else standing beside the victim? No. There was no one else around the table but the deceased Englishman at the and the university student. Huh? Wait, what did he just say? There was no one else around that table. What's the matter? That's just not right. When I went over to Dr. Wilson to say hello... A woman in Japan? No, not a woman. There was a woman sitting next to the table. Really? That's not something the waiter could have missed. I've been warned about interjecting, but still. What should I do? Fucking interject already. Yes! No, not yes, objection. Just a moment, please. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone that day, I'm sure of it. There was a lady sitting with him at the same table. Dear me, what are we going to do with you? With your blatant disregard for court proceedings, I'm beginning to wonder if you're not a fraud. Could it be that the accused, this mere student, is not a real lawyer after all? But I'm sure of what I saw. Is there any chance you're mistaken? Perhaps your memory of events is hazy? No. He did the anime! Bonk! The deceased gentleman came to dine alone. I don't believe it. I actually have a rough plan of the restaurant as it was that day. Please have a look if you'd like to. Let me see. Ah, a sketch of the establishment layout drawn by yourself, I presume? That's right, I'm afraid I used the back of my business card. It was a turbulent situation. However, as you can see, the gentleman in question was seated alone. Well, you're clearly a very conscientious waiter. Thank you, sir. The court will take this plan and add it to the court record as evidence. Oh, well... Is there a problem? Hand the plan to the court officer at once. Of course, here you are. What was that about? He's been completely calm and collected until now. Something certainly seems to have shaken him. So, probably The court has now heard a process of the case. Yes, at the moment the gunshot was heard in a restaurant, the only person in close proximity to the victim was the defendant on trial today. It would seem we are looking at a black and white case here. Defendant Naruhodo. Yes, Your Excellency. If you admit your guilt at this stage, the court is willing to look mercifully upon you. In other words, you may have some small reprieve in terms of your inevitable punishment. I call this waiter as an unsworn witness in order to explain the details of the case of the court. An unsworn witness. Oh, so okay, so in court you basically need to be sworn in. Like, do you swear to tell the truth and only the truth and nothing but the truth? And he didn't do that, so he can lie because he's not under oath. But I must warn the defense if you are determined to pursue matters further in this trial. The prosecution has decisive evidence from sworn witnesses who were present at the sign of the crime. You can tell, yeah, he's lying too, but the thing is he's also not under oath, so he's allowed to lie. So we cannot prosecute him basically for the crime of lying. The prosecution has decided. What do you think I should do, Kazuma? What do you mean? Well, I'm going to be found guilty one way or another, it seems. Wouldn't it be sensible to plead guilty at this stage and hope for a more lenient sentence? Everyone keeps telling me that this trial is unusual about these peculiarities. You've said it, Professor Mikotaba has said it, and so has the judge and the prosecution. I'm scared of what lies ahead. If I push this. As I said from the outset, I believe you're innocent. I trust you. And yet, despite knowing that, you're willing now to throw that back in my face? Is that it? What? If the accused is in fact innocent, then the defense lawyer is a duty bound to prove their innocence by whatever means necessary. So even if it means kill the prosecutor? Are you just going to abandon that duty? Are you going to give up on yourself? The battle hasn't even begun yet, Ryu. Hey. The defense pleads not guilty, Your Excellency. We invite the prosecution to stop making empty threats and bring out its witnesses. Then we'll just see how decisive this evidence really is. Indeed. Prosecutor Archie, please continue with proceedings. Well, you were warned. The young can be so reckless. You know, many call me a saint, but I can be a devil when I want to be. Ugh. In a few short moments from now, that dumbstruck young mouth of yours will be silenced forever. Was death penalty still a thing back in the day? The prosecution calls its next witnesses. Very well, officer. Bring forth the witnesses at once. Before we actually do that, hold on. So the waiter was unsworn. Hesitant about business cards. I wasn't calling them out. My ADA was. Witness, kindly state your names and occupations. Witnesses, kindly state your names and occupations for the court. Yes, sir. The Great Nippon Imperial Army Sergeant Iesa Nosa, reporting for duty, sir. Myself, I find employ as a purveyor of fine articles of antiquity from the efflorescence of our nation, Nippon, and conduct my trade from Rasute, a humble premises in the 2nd district. Kyorio Korikuta, at your service. Okay, so we have Korikuta, and we have Iveon or something, whatever. Iveon, I'll just name him Iveon for now. An antique dealer and a soldier. What an unusual pairing. Both of these gentlemen were present at the restaurant on the day in prosecution. Why are you writing this shit down? For my own brain to comprehend it. They must be the diners at the other table that had the waiter mentioned. Myself, I habitually take tea of the most exquisite aroma at the establishment in question, always post noon. And not infrequently converse with interested parties regarding the curios with which I make my business. You have a brain? Yes, it needs to work. With these games, it tends to work, so... Drop my pen. I can't understand a word of that old man, what that old man is saying. Well, I can, so... He's an antique dealer and it sounds like he's a regular at La Carnival. He seeks out potential customers who may have an interest in antiques and tries to sell his wares to them. Why commercials? I pay for this shit. Well, Josh, you can tag Esther all you want, but yes, I do have a brain, and the thing is, I'm smarter than her, even though she doesn't want to admit it. Yeah, you probably need to resubscribe, Naomi. Welcome, by the way. Why commercials only pay for this shit? Technically, you didn't this month. He obviously targets La Carnival because it's a high-class restaurant with a rich clientele. Right, I see. Although, to be honest, that sergeant looked more like he'd be a seller rather than a buyer. Now, you both witnessed the precise moment of this atrocious incident. Is that correct? Affirmative. The enemy unit was seen attacking the foreigner in what can only be described as an act of war, sir. It was that black uniformed rogue infantryman over there who unloaded his firearm, sir. This man's as impossible to understand as the other. Thank you, Naomi. Thank you for the 15th subscription. Currently on a 4-month streak. And you nice. This man's as impossible to understand as the other. But I'm almost sure I heard a strange noise during that last thing he said. So this is the decisive evidence the prosecution was threatening. The soldiers claim that he actually saw the precise moment you shot the victim dead. Yeah. Yeah, I know, but the thing is, if I do that, then... Why do you think I'm narrating this shit, Naomi? What do you want me to do? Sit in the corner? There we go. I think that's... No. A little more. There you go. Beautiful. Thank you. I just... Yeah, so the thing is, I'm still sitting on the right side of my screen. So what I do is I'm coming back and then I can put myself in the back even more. Wait, so is this still the same? Yeah, okay. Well, are you staring to feel uncomfortable? If I'm honest, I was feeling uncomfortable from the start. Now, the court will hear your formal testimony, please. You will state everything you saw at the precise moment that the incident occurred. Sir, yes, sir. Standing by, ready to report, sir. Unsavory memories of a most acerbic afternoon. Never heard of that word. She's not calling you beautiful, so don't get ahead of yourself. What the witnesses saw. I was ingesting a regulation beef steak at the restaurant while having a tactical discussion with the old man. Myself, I was extolling the virtues of a particularly fine golden curio to the military gentleman. At that precise moment, a firearm was discharged. I observed the enemy's actions with my own eyes. The black uniformed varsity cadets fired on the English civilian, and from the back the cowardly little weasel. Lie. This is a lie. Oh, he's called Nosa. Oh, why did I name him Leviathan? What the fuck? Shot from the back. That's a lie because the gun came at over here. You know, came into the chest and there was no exit wound. Also, it was close range from the front. So shot from, which is a lie. The antique dealer doesn't even care about the case. No, he's just...
Yes. Fine addition to my collection. Yes. Yes. Then nice a bottle of water.
I was on my hands and knees investigating the whereabouts of my mysteriously abscond precious curio. Okay. Well, so you, Sergeant Nosa, actually witnessed the vital moments. You saw the split... Okay, so he didn't witness shit. He was looking for something precious underneath the table or on the ground or something. Didn't witness. You saw the split second when the defendant fired a weapon at the victim. Yes, sir. Affirmative, sir. That wicked university cadet, sir. The cruel and unforgivable enemy. What times we live in? Why do you have a knife? Is this allowed? When an English gentleman may be assailed in the broad light of day. But this is ridiculous. I didn't shoot anyone. Is that really true, Ryu? Yeah, all I did was pick up the gun when I saw it lying on the floor. That's the thing. If somebody's shot dead, then don't fucking do that shit, maybe. Amor, the antique dealer, was on his hands and knees. That could be taken on. Yeah. Yep. Definitely. After I had said hello to Dr. Wilson, I went back to my table and sat drinking some coffee. Alright. Then, when I'd finished, I got up from my seat to leave the restaurant. When I noticed an English-made gun next to the chair. Okay, so the gun was English-made as well. Okay, that's good to know. Gun has an English manufacturer. There we go. First thing I do when somebody gets shot is just pick up the gun. I thought perhaps the professor had dropped it. So I bent down and just as I was picking it up... Didn't you even hear the gunshot? Bang. Well, if that's true, there was obviously a criminal on the scene somewhere. Or this... Well, wait, hold on. If we or he... And somewhere in these two witness testimonies there's a clue as to what the criminal was. There is? Ryu, you must exercise your right to cross-examine the witnesses. Cross-examine? Do it now. As we have heard, Your Excellency, there is no room for doubt in the testimony of these witnesses. The defendant is clearly guilty. It is time to bring this despicable student to justice. Certainly, the testimony the court has just heard eliminates any vestige of doubt. Therefore, it is my grave duty to declare the verdict of this... Yes! If you're gonna put your hand up, do it. No. What in the name of the Emperor is the meaning of this outburst? I mean, the defense demands his right to a cross-examination. Where are you? Ace, I suppose. What do you mean, where are you? This is 1900 Japan, basically, if you want to know where this takes place. But this is us. This guy, Ryu. Dear me, let me guess. The Hachimaki headband boy next door told me to do it. How pathetic. Huh? How did he know? The prosecution objects. This is a clear waste of time. The defendant obviously has no experience. How can he possibly carry out a cross-examination? The defense is asserting its right to a cross-examination. Whether or not you think he's capable of it is irrelevant. Kazuma's so commanding. Oh, I love it when there's a guy with a headband on, with just keeps doing this, and then he has a sword. Oh, it's nice sword. I love it when he puts it out his hilt, you know, when he grabs it, and then he just strokes it with his magnificent two hands. Oh, Kazuma, keep going. Very well. Let the defense conduct a cross-examination of the witness. Alright, this is where the battle really begins, Ryu. But I don't even know what I have to do. Guess I meant Phoenix Wright. Yeah. This is the one on the Switch. There's also ones on the Nintendo DS. I honestly thought it was going to be the Phoenix Wright ones, but apparently I was Phoenix wrong. But I don't even know what I have to do in a cross-examination. Isn't it obvious? You have to expose the lies in the witnesses' statements. I always On my DS, I played Professor Layton and Ace Attorney, but I was like 10 years old or something, and I didn't even know what the fuck I was doing, because I knew English properly when I was 10 years old. But the problem lies more so in the fact that attorney, lawyer, stuff like that, you know, even though you speak the basics of English very well, things like cross-examination, no, they use hard words. You want to see something hard. You didn't fire the gun, which means what that soldier said has to be a lie. Well, yes, but it's just a case of proving it, and the key is doing that is evidence. Evidence. Well, basically, the guy said shot from the back, but the gunshot was in the chest, so all you need to do is present some decisive and indisputable evidence that proves the witness is lying. Can we stop slamming this shit? Now let's go, Ryu. Don't let them beat you. Stop slamming the desk. Alright then. Cross-examination. What the witnesses saw. I was ingesting a regulation beef steak at the restaurant while having a tactical discussion with the old man. The virtues of a particularly fine golden curio. In a precise moment, the fire almost discharged. I observed the enemy's actions with my own eyes. Yeah, you're lying. The other guy isn't. He didn't witness anything, so I don't even know why he's put up as a witness if he's just on his hands and knees. So who are we defending? Who's the English guy? We are defending ourselves in this case, simply because of the fact, well, we picked up a gun and there was a gunshot, so where is the English guy? He died. These are his forefathers, basically. So we, or Ryu, killed a English school professor that was visiting Japan. This is set in Japan. Under my hands and knees, investigating the whereabouts of What I'm supposed to do here. Listen, Ryu. We know there are lies lurking in these statements. It's time to expose them. I understand that. The question is, how? Like I said before, the key is to this is using the evidence that you've collected. You can examine and present the evidence while witnesses giving testimony by pressing R. Go through each witness statement and add the details about each piece of evidence and compare all the facts. Somewhere in there you'll find something that doesn't add up. In other, I've already found it. His arm thing is way too loose. What do you mean his arm thing? How about the inconsistent piece of headband over there that's completely floating in the air? It's windy, yes. There's like a continuous wind tunnel within this courtroom that just goes... Oh, suck you. Inconsistency. When you find a statement and a piece of evidence that seem to contradict each other, present your evidence with X and rip the witness apart. Can I do that with your sword? Just be careful, because if you assert a contradiction that has no basis, you'll be given a penalty. If you're dealt with too many penalties, the defense's case will fall apart and you'll receive a guilty verdict. Oh. So that's it. Peruse the evidence in the court record and find an inconsistency with a witness's statement. Alright, I'll give it a try. You can hear the witness's statements over and over again as many times as you like. So keep your head and be measured in your attack. Good luck, partner. That's all. Myself, I was still learning the virtues of particularly fine golden curio. Observe the enemies. Okay. I will be going to present my shit here, and I will use the post-mortem report.
Yes!
What is Hitler doing on your screen? Well, we are in 1900s Japan, so this is before Hitler. With a samurai sword, yes. X. Go play chapter 1 already. What are you playing at, cadet? What is the meaning of this subordination? Thrusting this wad of papers in my mustache. Inconsistency, sir. I mean, yes. There's a clear inconsistency here. Ah, what nonsense. What can this document possibly tell us that we don't already know? Well, obviously. That, I know what I want to say, but the words just won't come out of my mouth. Perhaps you should put something in it. I think this proves beyond any doubt, Your Excellency, that there is no place for an amateur student here in this grand courtroom. This is so frustrating. Can we stop slamming the desk, please? Oh, please. Surely this doesn't require an explanation. It couldn't be more plain. To spell it out would be an insult to the court. Kazuma, what? He's bluffing. What are you talking about? Yeah, I know, but I just like having hard wood, you know? Why do you knock on hard wood? What are you talking about? It's apparent from a single glance at the post-mortem report presented by the defense that there's a clear discrepancy here with the sergeant's statements. What? Sergeant. Oh, he's got IE, sir. Okay. Yes, sir. What, sir? The statement you just made was this. The black uniformed varsity cadet fired on the English civilian, and from the back the cowardly little weasel. Yes, sir. Affirmative, sir. I witnessed the crime with my own military-grade eyes, sir.
Yes!
But no, that this can't be. And why not, cadet? Because... As it's clearly said in the post-mortem report, fatal hemorrhage from pectoral ballistic trauma. No exit wound. Bullet did not pass through the body. The photographical print of the victim clearly shows the same thing. Oh yeah, I could have also used the photo, for fuck's sake. The victim, Dr. Wilson, died from a bullet wound to the chest. Sergeant, according to your witness statement, the culprit shot the victim from behind. And that is the obvious discrepancy here. Well, how do you explain it? What? What was that? Yeah, exactly. Why does he have a baby? He probably went there together with his baby. Something just popped up from behind his back while he pushes down again. Certainly, there is a clear discrepancy with the facts here. Would you not agree, Sergeant Nosa? Yes, sir. At this juncture, that would appear to be indisputable. Until the moment I heard the firearm discharge, my eyes were firmly fixed on the delicious La Carnival steak, sir. What? The last testimony to Kurt has proven one thing beyond all reasonable doubt. This witness, Sergeant Aizanosa, did not see the defendant firing a gun at all. That's absurd. I think the conclusion we must draw is simple. There is no place for an amateur prosecutor here in this grand courtroom. Yeah! There's been a complete turnabout in the mood of this trial just from that one discrepancy. So this is what being an ace attorney is all about. But I definitely saw him. That university cadet day was pointing the firearm directly at the victim's back. But I never fired the gun. All I did was pick it up the floor. And you, old man, you didn't see the moment the victim was shot either. Myself, I have already been quite clear. The gunshot interested me not. I was far too busy on the floor. Too busy on the floor? Sorry, what were you doing? Hunting for treasure. Treasure? Indeed, the Hoei Erakoban, my prized coin. On each occasion when I visit that restaurant, it is my habitude to place in my bosom pocket a particular trinket of interest from my shop, Rasute. Did he smash his bottle? No, I don't know. I didn't see it clearly, but I don't think he. I think he just went bonk. He just pointed it. In the hope of meeting a rich diner who might like to buy it from you. On the day under scrutiny, it was to the military men that I proffered my Hawaii treasure. Believed that he would purchase such a rare find, I did not, but I was presented with little alternative. And then, after averting my eyes for the briefest of moments, was there no more? It simply vanished. The koban vanished. Hunting around on the table, I was, in case mayhap it had fallen there, and then it happened. Boom. Headshot. You had the gunshot, you mean? Indeed, I did, but I heeded it not, for I was concerned only with finding my absconded Hawaii treasure. Nothing could distract me. Out of interest, did you find the coin in the end? Oh, somebody stole the coin, isn't it? No. Gonna write it down in my journal. I see. That lamentable day, the precious Hawaii koban was lost to me. No doubt some unscrupulous scoundrel pocketed the prize coin for himself. The baby. It's the baby. It's the baby. Because he's looking away. It's the baby on his back. Oh, that's why he's wearing the rope or the curtain type things on his chest, all over his chest. As I'm sure everyone present is aware, this case demands a swift and decisive resolution. Our government has promised to send a full report to Great Britain by telegraph this very afternoon. Nevertheless, the witness testimony the court has just heard was inconclusive, no matter how subservient the government feels it must be to the British. It would be unforgivable to deliver a verdict on this trial right now. What is your position, Prosecutor Archie? Worry not, Your Excellency. The defendant may have fled a tiger at the front gate, but he will find a wolf at the back. My witnesses have further testimony to make. Explain. Upon hearing the next statements, it will become abundantly clear that there is only one person who could possibly have committed this despicable crime. The equally despicable defendant, Ryu. What? He really seems to have a despicable opinion of you, doesn't he? Very well, the court invites the witnesses to testify again. You will thoroughly explain the reasoning behind the prosecution's allegation. Is that clear? As clear as Carico glass, Your Excellency. Yes, sir. At once, sir. Yeah, the baby's sitting in his sack on the back. Excuse me, but there's something with someone peeking over your shoulder, I think. Affirmative. The newest member of the Nosa family to rise up through the ranks, sir. Name, Ido. It would seem those straps are a sign of the sergeant being too strapped to afford a nanny. Ido. Attention. Attention. Your father's about to quell the enemy. Watch and learn, my boy. Okay. Oh, he's got a booger. Nice. Witness testimony. Oh, here we go again. The true culprit. Even if what I saw wasn't a precise moment the firearm was, he should be disqualified from this entire trial. He should actually be prosecuted himself for lying. Even when I saw the precise moment the firearm was shot, it's almost the same thing. Yes, pointing his gun at the foreign man he was, that young lad in black. That much I myself did see. Went you? Furthermore, visual research of the premises at the time confirmed that we... Wait, hold on. He said he did see it. But is that so? Did he actually do that? I don't think so. Hold up. Okay, there we go. Furthermore, visual search of the premise at the time confirmed that we were the only person present. Indeed, alone he was the Englishman, dining all by himself. Therefore, no one other than the black uniformed cadet could have dispatched the Englishman. Over and out. These testimonies are certainly compelling. Wait, that's nonsense. The victim, Dr. Wilson, wasn't alone at all. Please, enough of these outbursts already. But there was a woman, there was a young woman at the table. You must have seen her. Everyone must have seen her.
Objection!
I like how he sounds exactly like he looks. If you call yourself a lawyer, then you will respect the rules of the court and speak accordingly. We are not here to listen to your fantasies. It is evident beyond all reasonable doubt that the victim was alone at the time of the incident. The prosecution has photographic evidence of this fact. Is this a photographic print of the scene of the crime, counsel? Indeed, of the table on which the victim was dining, taken by an investigating yeah, but the... Okay, so this photo was taken after the incident. Photo... taken... after incident. Keep this in mind for later, peeps. This photo was made after the entire incident happened, which means that, of course, if there's a gunshot, would you stay there? Would you be like, But yes, there's only one plate, so you could say. But the thing is, does the other person need to have a plate of her own? Or his own? As can plainly be seen, there's only one place set. Certainly, based on the appearance of this print, it would be reasonable to conclude that the victim was not in the company of anyone else. This doesn't make any sense. The court will add this new photographic evidence to the record. A bottle of carbonated water and a steak lunch can be seen on the victim's table. Carbonated water. What is carbonated water exactly? Did that even exist in the 1900s? I don't understand. What's going on here? It's just not possible that nobody else saw that woman. The waiter before said the same thing. He maintains that Dr. Wilson came to the restaurant alone as well. But that's not true. I saw her. I swear that I saw a woman with him. It would seem that we'll be able to telegraph the report to Great Britain on time after all. The witness testimonies we have just heard leave no further room for doubt. These are very sensitive political times as well. The ink is still fresh on the treaty with Great Britain. To think that I, take a shitty Archie, will have contributed to the amity of those two great empires is an honor. And the atrocities they created with colonization and shit. Okay. How can this be happening? The judge is ready to rule. Stand tall, Ryu. It's not over yet. What? If what you say is true, then there's something going on here behind the scenes. And now is your chance to expose it, to draw out the truth. In your cross-examination. I don't know, Kazuma. Bonk. The defense is entitled to cross-examine the witnesses, but make it quick, understood? How has this been going? It's been going great, actually. I am already noting shit down. Also, you found an inconsistency. And I tried to note it down on my smaller whiteboard. This thing fucking sucks. Look at this. I can't even get rid of this water anymore. All dried up bullshit. Those can be so blah 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 at times. Ugh. Okay, so we need to look for an inconsistency, and I don't know which inconsistency he's talking about. The thing is, he saw me pointing the gun at the man, but the thing, even if Watterson wasn't precise moment, the firearm was discharged is almost the same thing. Now this is bullshit. Yes, pointing at the gun at you was that young lad in the back. That much I myself did see. But you were saying that you were looking for the coin down there, and it's the baby that sold the coin, probably. Furthermore, a visual search of the premises at the time confirmed that we were the only personnel present. Okay. He was on the table. Yeah, exactly. Alone, he was the Englishman dining all by himself. Therefore, no other than a black uniformed cadet. Okay. Tony's here. Yeah, I can see that. Hey, Tony. Little man. But what do I present here? Let me examine this shit. Why do I have a magnifying glass? How's everyone doing? We already talked about this. What do I present here? Pointing gun at the foreign man, he was that because the thing is, I should have looked, but I didn't. Just got done cleaning up the house, broke the vacuum. Any ideas, guys, for what to present here? So this bullshit, the post-mortem report, I can examine this shit. Shows the victim who was shot. Mm-hmm. That much I myself did see, so... Even if what I saw wasn't a precise moment to fire, it's almost the same thing. This is complete bullshit. This is the one with most... A visual search of the premise at the time confirmed that we were the only personnel present. Because I cannot get... I can only present the actual evidence that I have. The card table thingy. No other than the black uniform cadet could have dispatched. Because there was more people there. Do you mean... Okay, so you're saying that this... No one other than the black uniformed cadet could have dispatched the Englishman. I like how he just says kills, but he just used the synonym dispatch for a kill. Alone he was the Englishman dining on... Well, that's the thing. Nothing contradicts that he wasn't alone, except for our own imagination right now. I think that's gonna be the case either way. A visual search of the premises at the same time confirmed that we were the only personnel present. So this should be the lie then. Again. I feel like the old man should be lying here. Nothing contradicts this. Alone he was the Englishman. Nothing contradicts this. He was dining all by himself. You can see that. There's only one plate. Yeah, but we must look for holes in the story, not like say, okay, you know, he was dining alone. We need to undermine these statements, not confirm them. The head waiter's business card, the sketch of the restaurant's layout is on the back. Okay, so what you're saying is... pointing his gun at the foreign man, he was... that much I myself did see. That's just trying to get a lie out. He was pointing his gun at the foreign man. So this should be a lie, because he said that he was underneath the table. But the thing is, we cannot present his own testimony here. So, furthermore, visual search of the premise at the time confirmed that we were the only personnel present. This should be the lie then. This is what you're saying. This should be the lie. Visual at the same time, we were the only personnel present.
Yes.
Let's see what this does. Well, what about the last statement made by the witness? It seems perfectly reasonable to me. Exactly, perfectly reasonable in every way. Perhaps you should take a leaf out of the witness book and learn to be more reasonable yourself. It's not that one. I'm not getting penalties. No other than the black uniformed cadet could have dispatched the Englishman. He was dining alone. No evidence refutes this statement. Let's go back to the entire beginning, shall we? This is why I don't play games that I need the brain to function. Well, that's the thing. We're doing this together. So together we have about 4.5 brain cells, which means that the brain rot should commence together here. Even if what I saw wasn't the precise moment the firearm was discharged, it's almost the same thing. This is just him admitting that he lied. There's nothing we can really say about this. The only thing that actually points to a lie is this one. Pointing at the gun at the foreign man, he was that young lad in the back. That much I myself did see, because he said earlier that he wasn't. But we cannot use his own words against him, because when I click, what the hell would happen if I click press?
Yes.
It may be true that I was holding the gun at that point in time, but I've told you already, that's only because I picked it up the floor. Well, obviously, as the culprit, that's the only way you could explain it away. I had just finished drinking my coffee and I was about to leave the restaurant when I noticed a gun on the floor at Dr. Wilson's feet, so I picked it up. And at exactly that moment, bang, there was another gun involved. Full of events beyond our control, life is. Sorry, what do you mean? In your case, you found a pistol on the floor and picked it up, which precipitated to this testing predicament. Whereas, conversely, where does he get the knife from? I failed to pick up the weapon from the floor and find myself in an equally testing predicament as a result. Anyway, the fact remains, myself, I did see you. With pistol in hand, standing over the foreigner. Wait, so I can press them on this shit. Oh, that's good to know.
Yes.
No, it's not the same thing at all. For a start, I didn't fire the gun. We have a difference of opinion on that. The opinion of a uniformed officer instead of a fledgling cadet. We just exposed you lied anyway, so... Consider this, defendant. Just a moment ago, I blinked. Did you? Did you see it? Did you see me blink? How could I? And yet it is an undeniable fact that I did blink. So there you have it. Have what? Attention. The sound of the firearm rang in my ears in the very next moment. I saw you waving the gun at the Englishman. A thing that says it all, don't you? Let us not forget the antique dealer witnessed the accused in his most incriminating position as well. Yes, pointing his gun at the foreigner. Yeah, so the thing is, he didn't say a damn thing, so he is lying. But how do I present this?
Yes.
That's because I picked it up from the floor. This is the exact same thing. No? He lost a coin, so he was on his hands and knees looking at the floor. At his first testimony, he said he didn't witness it. But he did saw me pointing the gun at the man. So basically he's saying, I didn't witness it, but I did. Let's see if we can press him with this. You actually saw it with your own eyes. The victim, Dr. Wilson, dining alone. That I did. Forgive me for the position I place you in. So the testimonies of the old man, the soldier, and the waiter all agree on that point. Isn't that interesting? And let us not forget, the incontestable evidence we have to support their statements as well. A meal for one. Yeah, but the thing is, why is there an entire wine bottle on there? The sergeant and the waiter who testified before that they're all lying. But if so, then why? I have absolutely no idea. Okay. No one other than Overnight. Yeah, but if you clearly remember, then how come you don't know her name? How come nobody else saw her? When present at the scene, prosecution demands to see proof. We don't have any proof, that's the point. There is a lie somewhere here, and we need to prove that somehow. I don't see the lie other than the fact that the guy didn't look at the moment, but I cannot press him, or I cannot show the evidence or show his earlier testimony that he said like, oh, you know, he wasn't there. I was never mentioned before that he had a dining code. No. We are the only ones that have seen it. That's what I've been doing the entire time. I'll press them like blocks of tofu, okay. I have been pressing them. Even if what was the present moment of time was, it's almost the same thing.
Yes.
Let's low battery. Oh, shut up. It may be true that I was holding the gun at that point in time, but I've told you that already. That only because I picked it up off the floor. I was about to leave the restaurant when. If he picked up the gun, there's no way he could have shot him. If he was already dead. Or no, if he picked up the gun and he didn't shoot it, then somebody else had another gun. Yeah, he says it right here. I failed to pick up the Coban from the floor and find myself in an equally interesting predicament. Yeah, he was looking at the floor. There's no way for me to prove that with the evidence that we currently have. Maybe?
Yes.
I'll try this. Maybe you were sitting to the back. It's clearly odd. What appears to be odd is the way you're presenting yourself. YouTube, here we go. Actually, Google. DA's Attorney Chronicles. I cannot find a hole in this goddamn story. Walkthrough. I'm already Googling, but I'm getting old results. Wow. The Grace Ace Attorney Adventures walkthrough, that should be it. Okay. Yeah. We will listen to the testimony first. Knowing and like whatever. We will get our crossing, as you can see. Okay, so I need to press this guy on this thing. A visual search of the parameters. Didn't I do this before? You must have noticed someone else at Dr. Wilson's table.
Attention!
I feel like I'm growing a callus in my ear. And yet no one else appears to be even caught a glimpse of this woman. If only there had been more people dining at the time. And someone else would have noticed her. It was already past 2 AM or 2 PM when it happened. A quiet time between lunch and dinner in any restaurant. Of course the place was almost empty, it's what you'd expect. I wonder if there was a reason why the victim was eating at the time of day and why Willie was alone. Yes, Your Excellency, there was indeed a reason. Okay, so now we get... This was found in the victim's jacket pocket. Well, you could have told me that fucking before. You know what to say? Oh, for fuck's sake. Honor Clinic. Yes, there would indeed be an entry for the date in question. 19th of November, noon to past 1 PM. The very day of the incident. So the victim went for a late lunch following his appointment. The explanation couldn't be more clear. The prosecution felt no need to submit this evidence before, as it really has no bearing on this case. I wonder, what do you think, are you? Well, it's hard to see how it could be related, really. Remember, you can request for it to be entered in the court record as evidence if you think it could be useful. Should I for Dr. Wilson's medical report got to be submitted as evidence or not? Yes.
Yes!
If I may, I'd like to ask for that medical report card to be submitted as evidence, Your Excellency. On what grounds? The court has already heard conclusive witness testimony. Additional evidence would be extraneous. Not to mention that the victim's movement prior to this arrival at the residence are of no concern. Whether or not they are of concern is up to us to decide. We have a right to explore all possible avenues. I beg your pardon? That's why I use my ADA. You have no authority to refuse a perfectly valid request. Very well. The court will grant the defense's request. Youngsters these days are forever asserting their rights. It's the most disturbing trend. Fuck youngsters, their rights. Officer, kindly add the victim's medical report card to the court record. What we need right now is clues. We have to explore things from every possible angle, even if they don't seem relevant at first. Okay. You can conspire to prolong this trial as much as you like, but it's a day after the festival already for you. Or perhaps you'd forgotten that these witnesses' testimonies leave no room for doubt. Feel free to reiterate for the accused, Koekota. Okay. Almost, I thought I clicked the wrong thing. Let's see this. Well, this doesn't help me at all. This is good start. When you get back to the statement, go ahead and press everything. We'll end up getting a tutorial for how to look at it. Okay, this includes how to examine and move things around so we can examine them. It's only possible to do on items that have a magnifying glass. Wait a minute. Yep, that's it. He's definitely dead. What am I looking for here, though? I don't see any other glass. Why do you need an entire wine bottle for yourself, though? What is this? You'll end up doing this with the medical report. Go ahead and do so. Get used to it. What do you mean? I can't click on this. We want to end up opening the report and examining the notes inside. Do so and you'll get an updated piece of evidence. What do you mean? I cannot even open this shit. There's nothing I can examine here. How do you want me to do that? There's no way for me to examine this, but the tutorial literally says examine it. What do you mean go back? Go back to where? This is like the LA Noire thing, you know? It's like they want us to do shit, but we cannot do them. Why is it? Oh no. Go ahead and press everything. We'll end up getting a tutorial out of it. Okay, let's see. Let's just press everything.
Yes!
Just in case. We'll just press on everything, okay? We've already seen everything. Want my help? Yeah, sure. You do you. There's no way for me to continue this. Okay, we'll take a sec. Oh.
Yes!
Just gonna press them at everything. There's nothing I can do here. It also talks about the tutorial. I'm not even doing anything, it's on autoplay. So much better. Go to the last statement, okay. I don't know, man. I don't know. I really don't know how to get out of this. I'm just gonna... If you... By the way, if you're willing to help, I'm glad, but don't say just go to the last statement. Let me... Let's press on all of them.
Objection!
I like how it says 2 PM is neither here nor there. Time to eat. Yes, we know this, we know this. Oh, shut up.
Yes!
Yes. Okay, is that interesting? Yeah, but honestly, the soldier should be... Nah. The soldier should be acquitted right here and also in the army itself. Fucking YouTube commercials. Then why don't you have ad block? Now why? That's so perfectly honest, I have absolutely no idea. Discuss on this matter. Aren't you telling the truth? You can say all you want, man. I failed to see the professor's dining companion. Blah, blah, blah. Look, this is what they do. You press them on that. Hmm. Oh, here we go. Let me see the medical report card. Yeah, so that was the thing. I couldn't examine this until right now. So perhaps we should examine it a little more in detail. Yeah, so this was basically... I had to press them on everything to get this right now. You don't have to fucking tell me twice how that works. You can move the crosshairs around to hunt for clues that may have been missed before. Start to pulsate. Press A to investigate further. Okay. Let's see what we find, shall we? Yeah. I know how it works. It says Holler Clinic on this medical report card. Well, no shit, Sherlock. I hate clinics almost as much as I hate hospitals or surgeries. Aren't they all the same? When I was 5, I caught the only cold I've ever had in my life. I remember even though I felt awful already, I had to have this hideous injection in my right arm. He's got them chips. Most people would give their right arm to have had only one cold. Anyway, I don't think this is a clinic where they treat people for illnesses like that. Let's keep looking for clues. We don't want to miss anything. Looks like this medical report was first issued quite some time ago. It's probably a record for long-term treatment, that's why with a family doctor, I imagine. Well, I can imagine going to a doctor. I mean, as long as I'm alive, I'm never considered one. Well, if you were dead, there'd be no point. So you don't know, why would you? They make you drink horrible tasting medicine, they give you painful injections, and they demand lots of money from you for privilege. And when you're at your lowest ebb, you sound like a model patient. Okay, so what I could dissect from that conversation was he's a long-time patient, so he was chronically ill. Which sounds to me like, I know, open, shut the fuck up, I'm doing my own deduction here. Motherfucker. Let's have a look. This is some kind of medical history. Ah, and there's an entry for the day. No. Now I asked for help to get further where I was stuck. Now I'm not stuck anymore, and now we can finally continue. There's an entry for the day the professor was killed. Extraction of molar with topical anesthesia. I forgot molar. He had a tooth taken out? It seems so. Just before the incident, he had a tooth removed. Okay. This was modern practice in the West for pain relief. I got a hard time opening. No, I was extraditing information, Naoma. I've heard of this anesthesia. Yeah, although it's hard to believe there's anything that can actually stop you feeling pain. There's a cautionary note from the medical practitioner as well. Strictly no food or drink besides water for 3 hours post-procedure until anesthetics effects have passed. If that's the case, then why was he at a restaurant in the first place? So his dentist killed him because he didn't listen to the rules of not getting food. Ate food when no. Really? Sounds like information worth bearing in mind. The medical report card's information has been updated in the court records of dental work on the day the murder. With this new information, the meaning of that one particular statement totally changes. Well, Naomi, to be honest, it could be a fair statement. It could be a fair motive. So I think it's time we listen to the testimony again, don't you? Definitely. For many was that young lad in black that pushed myself in Dead Sea. Aloni, yeah, but he was there, but he wasn't allowed to eat. So who was the steak for? So Aloni was dining all by himself. So if we were to throw this in his face, let's have a look. This is some kind of man. Oh, for fuck's sake! I misclicked. This is the wrong one. Just gonna click auto. I'm sorry, I did this. I clicked the wrong button. I was supposed to click present, but I clicked press. Oh, I clicked whatever. I clicked whatever. I clicked something else. For fuck. You know what would be nice? Voice acting, so I don't have to do this.
Anesthetic effects have passed.
Has either one of you, or has anyone in chat already been under the influence of anesthetics? Or not?
Yes!
Yes. Well, I think... About what are you wittering, lad? Call yourself a lawyer. Oh, I wish I could. But first and foremost here, the accused. Ryu. Everyone stumbles on their words occasionally. Under the circumstances, I wouldn't worry about. Thanks, Dada. When you raise your hand straight up like that so purposefully, you knew exactly what it was you wanted to say. Don't feel like you have to choose your words carefully. Just say what you're thinking. I have an erection. Okay. That's what you get when you start saying this type of shit. Okay. So this guy is... This guy is called... Hold on. Kazuma. Oh, never mind. I was looking at Rule 34 for the guy with the headband. This is the medical report belonging to the victim. Ah, I see. And I don't see one of it, boy. Comparing what is written on this report card with your witness statement. Something clearly doesn't add up. Dear me, have you forgotten my words so soon, you amateur? Sorry, what? You are not to interrupt court proceedings with your amateurish drivel. But let's see if I can explain in which you might understand. It was after 2 p.m. in the afternoon when the victim was murdered at the restaurant. Whatever he may or may not have done before that time is completely irrelevant. But that's... Remember, Ryu. You don't have to use clever language or fancy words. Just make your point. Your Excellency, I believe we're finished here. There's surely no need to prolong this trial further. The witness testimonies. The court has heard before, clear and concise. This medical report has no bearing on the matter at all, for the simple reason that there is no one else besides this pale-faced pupil who could possibly have... The judge has fallen asleep because of all this bullshit, I know. The medical report has nothing to do with the case. Do you really believe that? What? That outburst have petrified me, boy. Of course I believe it. How could it possibly be relevant? Perhaps because Hoda Clinic, which issued the report card, is a dental clinic? A dental clinic? Is that supposed to mean something to me? Perhaps if I told you that the victim had just had a tooth extracted? What's this now? And furthermore, if I told you that as a result the victim had been forbidden from eating. Just, what are you trying to say, cadet? He had orders not to eat, so what? It's all written up in here. No food or drink other than water for 3 hours post-procedure while anesthesia wears off. What? No, that can't. Korekuta-san. What, boy? What? As you just heard, when he was killed sometime shortly after 2 p.m., the victim couldn't have been eating anything at all. No. Additionally, there's more. You have assured the court with unwavering self-confidence that the victim was dining alone. But that cannot possibly be the case. Because the victim, as we now know, had just had one of his teeth extracted, and was still experiencing the effects of the anesthetic. Oh no! Expertly done, partner. You can lick my sword now. What is that, baby? What is this nonsense, you little upstart? These are baseless accusations. Just look at this photographic evidence. Photographic, whatever. You can clearly see the plate of food at the victim's table. Yeah, but he was not allowed to eat, so there was somebody else. Use your head. That's the very discrepancy we're talking about. Shut up with the low battery. Or can't you follow the logic? Like I was just... Nani, and then... Omae no wo shindeu. Nani? That's this game in a nutshell. How dare you? I think it's fair that the tables in this restaurant's case have turned. Ha ha! I wonder. We made a turning tables joke. When are we getting the when pigs fly joke? Wouldn't you agree? Yes, most definitely. So having just undergone some dental surgery, the victim was unable to eat. Which leaves one very crucial conundrum. Who, in fact, was eating the pictured beefsteak? The court will hear the opinion of the defense on this new puzzle. I assume you're ready, counsel? Counsel? Oh, yeah. That means me, doesn't it? Yeah. Alright, the answer to this question is going to be pivotal. This is the start of you turning this trial around. Show them what you're made of. Okay. Show them the titties. That always works. The person eating the steak at the victim's table must have been... I mean, it wasn't me. It wasn't the victim himself. Obviously, it can only have been someone else who was sitting at the professor's table.
Attention!
Yeah, there's no evidence for that. You will not let this go, will you? There was no such person. There was, because I saw her. When the incident occurred, we know that the victim couldn't have been eating anything. Yet we have the evidence of a half-eaten steak on this table. Therefore, the only logical conclusion is that there was somebody else there eating it. We have strong evidence to support our assertion. It's clear that these witness testimonies are unreliable. Oh, you don't say. I thought that was deducted from like an hour ago. If the court decides to push through a ruling at this stage, we will lodge a formal complaint with the Ministry of Justice and pursue a fair retrial relentlessly. Kazuma. Are you insane? You would take on the government? Don't worry, Counsel. I have no issue with you. What do you mean? I have issue with them. Those two witnesses in the stand. What are you talking about? We have demonstrated with evidence that the victim was not alone. So, if it turns out that the two were deliberately lied when giving our testimonies, obviously you will be charged with perjury. You lie. You lied twice. You will take on the world without Solio. And since this is a murder trial, you will also be deemed complicit in the killing. Complicit in murder? No. Negative. There was no mention of this at the tactical meeting. I was just following orders. That's right, as the man says. Just say you never saw the gentlewoman. That's what they told us. Oh. What? What did you just say, Korikuta? No. You were just following orders? Now hold on, lad. I wasn't... Say you never saw the gentlewoman? When you say gentlewoman, do you mean a transvestite? Dun dun dun! I'm having way too much fun with this shit sometimes. You saw the victim with a lady from overseas? What?
Attention!
What? What is the meaning of all this? These witnesses gave false statements? Is this true, you pair? Well, I mean, there was a tactical meeting, and the DA is supposed to prepare them for trial and for the witness to take stand, so... Just one simple slip of the tongue. Order. Counsel, explain what is going on here. It's painfully clear now. You tried to prevent these witnesses from telling the truth. Absolutely not. The prosecution knows nothing of this. Then who's behind this? Who tried to make you keep your mouth shut? Well, that's classified. So you're prepared to be tried as a conspirator to this murder, are you? You wouldn't. This can't be happening. Judging from the way they're reacting to this, I'd say they were sworn into silence with someone with considerable influence. However, I don't believe Archie had any idea about it. What are you saying? I mean, to wield that kind of influence, there are only a handful of possibilities. It could only have been the government, the military, or the police, I suppose. Well, any ideas about who might be behind this? If we can affirm who tried to silence these witnesses, then we can continue our pursuit, so we need to name whoever it was. Of course, we'll need evidence before we make any firm accusations. Evidence that proves whoever it was really did wield this or her power. But how? How can we possibly? Press them. There's no time to lose. Okay. I want answers. If it is proven that these witnesses have been manipulated, I assure you the penalty will be severe. They will get the full taste of my schlong. Please wait, Your Excellency. I had no idea about any of this. I swear to every Shinto god. I knew nothing. And what does the defense have to say about all this, Well, Your Excellency... No time to think. I'm just going to have to close my eyes and shout out the first name that comes into my head. Don't you fucking dare. Besides the prosecution, it won't be him. He's gone. It feels to me that it was him. Because these two are standing on trial right now. He's only 67, he looks 90. This guy doesn't have the influence, and this guy is... Let's just try this, shall we?
Yes!
What do you make of that? I think, counsel, that you may want to close your ears as well as your eyes. No? Otherwise, the size of disappointment in the courtroom may very well deafen you. If you feel must close your eyes and incline, I suggest you keep your mouth shut next time too. Otherwise, I may have to use the influence I have in this courtroom to shut it permanently. Somebody with great influence. It has to be somebody with great influence, but who has great influence? Because he was lying to begin with. Yeah, he was. I never read Deal of Influence myself, but believe me, I can find other ways to keep your mouth shut as well. Shut up. It's the waiter. That's the only thing I can think of. Literally the only thing I can think of. I mean, the guy we met at Plain Sight, like this, the Eugene, he has influence because medical school professor at the Imperial Yume University. For those who don't know, in Japan, I do believe, I don't know for certain myself, so keep this in mind. It also says he's an authority in forensic medicine and Kazuma's mentor. So I honestly think here that my brain was thinking, like, he has influence simply because of the fact that he does work at the government, but it's probably him.
Yes!
Surely that would be Satoru Hosonaga-san. The waiter who took the stand earlier. Poppycock. What possible reason would the waiter have to make these witnesses give a false testimony? Not to mention the fact that even a head waiter could not possibly have that level of influence. He's a spy for the Imperials. If that is the man truly were waiter. Time to hit this court with the truth. Let us look at this guy's card one more time. Chief Inspector Satoru Saga, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial... Shit, you could have told me that fucking earlier. Well, that's unexpected. What is? Look, do you see it says the witness's name here? Satoru Sonaga. Oh, so that's why he didn't want it. That's also why he took the stand... Yeah, he was not sworn in, and I think it's because of the fact that, well, he is part of the police. Chief Inspector. Primary Criminal Investigation Division. Yeah, he's an inspector. He's one of the big ones. I have no idea, but let's face it, the police have a lot of power and influence. If they're wielding it somehow here, the way this business card information has been updated in the court records. Anything else that I missed? This plan of the restaurant raises a number of questions, I think, definitely. It's supposed to show the relative position of everything in the moment, but there's nothing to show the woman you saw there. Exactly, and that's not all. Look in the upper left is what says kitchen. What of it? No one would use those complicated characters to write kitchen, especially not if they were in a hurry. You mean you don't remember those characters yourself? Don't you? Study harder, you. Let us present the business card. The plan of the restaurant sketched by the man in question. I agree, it shows a great deal of attention to detail. I'm not sure... Well, this wasn't... This piece of evidence wasn't drawn after the incident. This was the plan. This is where the guy was supposed to sit, so the person could pull the trigger. That's the back of the card. It's the back. The other side of the card, that's of your interest. I beg your pardon. He's like... Wow. The only thing I have to do here is just... turn the card around. Holy shit, though. Or perhaps I should have said the front. Yes, it's the front of the back of the card. It's the front of the back of the card. What? It's the front of... That's where the telling detail is. Would somebody please explain what this overexcited student is trying to say? Sketch a plan of the restaurant on the reverse side of the business card. The front of that business card reveals the man in question's profession. His true profession. The waiter's profession? But that's surely... Good gracious. That's right, Your Excellency. The card reads Chief Inspector. What? The waiter is a police detective. Well, you could have turned around the card yourself. I haven't any mention of this before. Why haven't I heard any mention of this before? The Imperial Police Bureau has an immense power, absolute power, as far as regular civilians are concerned. So, witness there in the stand. Was it in fact the waiter who gave you your orders? Was it the one who told you not to mention that you'd seen the foreign gentlewoman at the scene? The big-titted police girl? Who's gonna break first? Inspector Sonaga. I was worried something like this may happen. The moment you asked me to submit my sketch as evidence, I realized it was a possibility. And then he did not... No. Yeah. But the thing is, he was not under oath. That's the point. He was not under oath, so he wasn't sworn in. And because of the fact that he's not sworn in, he can lie all he wants. I strive to carry out all investigations flawlessly. It's my guiding principle. But I let myself be distracted when I make that sketch. It was an unusually careless mistake. So, you mean to say you really are a detective? But why would a detective be working as a restaurant waiter? Of course, your salary must be terrible. You're a policeman? I was working undercover. Undercover? Yes, there have been a series of incidents at the restaurant recently. In order to investigate, I decided to get a job there as a waiter, working undercover. Incidents at the restaurant? What kind of incidents? Not allowed to disclose. That would be classified police information, which I am not at liberty to divulge. He truly hit them with a yoinky splunky. However, I can state categorically that they are unrelated to this case of homicide. Very well then. Inspector Hosonaga, but you will elaborate on one point for the court. Of course, Your Excellency. We have just heard new information from the two witnesses beside you. That at the time of the shooting, there was in fact another person present at the victim's table. If that is indeed true, clearly you would have also been aware of this person's presence, having served at the table in question. However, your testimony did not allude to this other diner. Therefore, I am led to assume that in your professional capacity as a police officer, you require these witnesses to be in agreement. Would that be correct? Still doesn't explain the coughing of blood, though. Correct, Your Excellency. Unbelievable. As I suspected. Yeah. Bang. As soon as I heard the gunshot, I ran out of the kitchen to see what had happened. The victim sat slumped in his chair, and beside him, gun in hand, stood the accused student. Sitting opposite the victim at the table was a young woman, whom I guessed to be blah blah blah. So the truth comes out. I immediately sealed off the restaurant and reported the incident to the bureau. It was then that I received some special orders. Special orders? You mean to say, remove the English woman from the scene at once. It was made clear that the English woman's presence at the restaurant was to be concealed. These were my orders. But what if this English woman was the killer? I think it would be in everyone's best interest not to pursue that idea. The Empire views the friendly terms of its relationship with Britain more highly than anything at the moment. An Englishman has been murdered on our soil. To name an English woman as a primary suspect, well, without irrefutable evidence, that would be completely out of the question. So that's the reason the disappearance of the Phantom Woman in this case. But if it's not, it's not right. It's only dialogue. One possibility does spring to mind. What do you mean, Kazuma? Yuma University is currently hosting a number of exchange students from Great Britain. And I'm fairly certain that one of them studying in the medical faculty research laboratory is English. Is a young English woman. You're a shrewd man. I can see why you're the chosen candidate for the overseas study tour. You mean, when I removed the woman from the scene of the crime, I thought it prudent to check her identity first. Then the court demands that you name the lady in question at once, Inspector. The English woman sitting at the university professor's table was a certain Miss Giselle Brett. She is indeed a foreign student in the research laboratory of Yuma University's medical faculty. So much dialogue. Yeah, of course it's... What is happening here? I admit that under orders from the police bureau, I erased all evidence of this lady's presence at the scene, and ordered these witnesses to make no mention of her in their testimonies. It must now be up to Your Excellency to decide how to deal with this situation. Very well. My thoughts on the matter are as follows. Thus far, the case presented to the court has been underpinned by a particularly critical premise. Namely, that the victim was dining alone. However, as we have now discovered that the premise is false, it would be a desecration of our justice system to ignore the truth and give a ruling at this point. But, Your Excellency, that would mean missing the noon deadline of ruling in order... Your own government will be surely displeased by such actions. Calm yourself, Counsel. I will not allow the government of our country or any other to influence the proceedings of my courtroom. Inspector Osanaga. Sir? You will locate the Giselle Brett and escort her to the courtroom with the utmost urgency. At once, Your Excellency. But that means you'll be going up against the special orders you were given from the police bureau. As I said before, It is my guiding principle to carry out all investigations flawlessly. So, it won't be a problem? He's gonna fist me. Nothing will get in my way. He dies before the end of this trial. Court will adjourn briefly. The prosecution must call the English student, Giselle to the witness stand. Do I make myself clear? Yes. Your Excellency. Good. Then we will have a 30-minute recess before reconvening. Finally, a 30-minute recess. To be continued. Nice. This should be the saving point, right? Thank God. So, how was it, people? 2.5 hours. It should actually be 2 hours because we were stuck at one point. 2 hours worth of this. It took 2 hours to get to this point in the first case. Yes. I don't even know if the first case... Yeah, the first case should be done. This game going to take forever to finish. Do you remember how long Honeypop, as well as Subnautica, and as well as Star Wars Fallen Order took me? I don't even know how many... I'll just save this one here. There we go. We don't even know what the first damn case. Oh, but there have been plot twists, haven't there? So, I would like to thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it. I will see you all upcoming Sunday. Come on. And I will now be heading downstairs, because, of course. Thank you, Naomi, Josh, Esther, Tony, and others who are watching. And I will see you all upcoming Sunday, where we will play Cobblemon, like I said before. So, yeah. You too, Tony. You too. Have a good one, boys. Have a good one. Sunday Cobblemon on Wednesday next week for the last part of the case. I hope so. I hope so.